The night justice knocked back. The wind moaned through the trees that lined Rosewood Lane. It was a quiet Georgian neighborhood, the kind where porch lights flickered and dogs barked only at stray cats. Inside a one-story brick house near the cul-de-sac, 72-year-old Henry Clay sat in his worn recliner. The TV played softly, light from the screen dancing over framed photos of a younger man in uniform. Medals, war zones, memories. Henry was alone. He had been since his wife passed 4 years ago. No kids, no family, just a decorated veteran living on disability checks. A German shepherd named Duke who died last winter, and a house that had once felt full. Then came the sound. Not a knock, a crash, glass, the back window. Henry didn't freeze. War trains reflex into instinct. He reached into the drawer beneath the side table, his hand wrapping around the cold steel of his .38 revolver. He moved toward the back of the house, slow but sure, like he had in Nam. 3 masked figures spilled into the hallway. Boys, tall, lean, dressed in black, faces hidden, armed. One of them raised a gun. Henry didn't wait. The first shot lit the hall with a sudden flash. Then 2 more. Then screaming. A neighbor, Mrs. Carlton, would later tell police she heard at least 6 shots in total. One of the teens collapsed right there, his weapon clattering to the hardwood floor. Another stumbled toward the front door, bleeding, trying to drag his brother with him. Henry stood shaking, the revolver gripped tightly in his liver-spotted hand, his heart slamming like a war drum. When the police arrived minutes later, 1 teen was already dead. 2 others were rushed to the hospital. They didn't survive the night. 3 boys, gone. Henry sat on his porch steps when they arrived, silent. He didn't resist, didn't speak, just stared into the dark, like he was watching something no one else could see. The investigation. The boys were identified the next morning. Tyler and Jamal Henderson, brothers, 15 and 16, and Deshaun Miller, 17, all from the same school. No prior records. But each one had a stolen weapon in their possession. Police recovered surveillance footage from a neighbor's ring cam. Blurry figures climbing through Henry's window. Then shots fired from inside. Then came the lawsuit. The parents, devastated and furious, demanded accountability. At a press conference, Mrs. Henderson stood in tears. If you hadn't fought back, my sons would still be alive. You must pay for this. Henry never responded publicly. He didn't have a lawyer at first. Didn't call one. Didn't call anyone. But the case gained attention. Protesters gathered. Some cried, "Justice and boys." Others backed the veteran, holding signs reading he defended his home. The prosecution tried to press charges, manslaughter at the least. But the defense found a witness, Calvin Ross, a young man walking home from work that night. He told the court he saw the teens approach the back of the house, guns drawn. He heard a shot, not from Henry. Then others. They shot first, he said. The trial. It lasted 2 weeks. The prosecutor painted Henry as a paranoid, lonely man too quick to pull the trigger. The defense presented him as a man who'd serve his country, who lived quietly, who had every right to protect his home. Photos from the scene showed the chaos. Broken glass, blood in the hallway, a bullet lodged in the living room wall, traced back to one of the teens' guns. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. They returned with a verdict, not guilty, under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law, judge's law. Henry Clay had acted within his rights. The courtroom erupted. Shouts, cries. One of the mothers collapsed. Henry didn't smile. He didn't nod. He just looked at the floor. The aftermath. Reporters came and went. Henry refused interviews. His home sat quiet again. But now, boarded windows and a security light replaced the cracked glass. He no longer watched TV. He sat mostly in silence. At night, the hallway still echoed. He'd tell the officer who checked in sometimes, "I didn't want to kill those boys. I didn't even want to pull that trigger. But they came in armed. They came in angry. I didn't have a choice." Still, he kept seeing their faces. Not the masks. The morgue photos. 3 kids. Dead. Their parents still grieve. The lawsuits may be over, but their anger isn't. One mother visits the site every week. She leaves flowers by Henry's gate. The town moved on, but Henry didn't. Final lines. In the quiet of his living room, under dim lamplight, Henry sometimes reads old letters from his platoon. Men who never came back. Kids who didn't live long enough to be fathers. He whispers to the walls, "I thought the killing ended overseas, but it followed him home. The law may have cleared him, but justice? That's a heavier burden. Do you think this was self-defense or something else?" Share your thoughts in the comments.